Hey, welcome back to Anxiety Makes Me Poop. I don't know what we did right, but a whole bunch of people found us and we're listening to all the past episodes that we had on Anxiety Makes Me Poop and on the Clopen effect. So thank you. Because last month we were pretty mellow, but that makes sense because it's summer. We are usually very heavily listened to in the winter. I think just because here in the Midwest, people are just a little quieter and in the house and such. But I don't know. This past week, we've had some strong numbers. So thanks for being here. All right, let's talk about when someone stands in your way, whether it's personal or at work. You know, I always default to work, but just because I think it's a good example to show people. And I also get so many emails about, hey, how do I get through this? And how do I get through this? And it's usually work related, not relationship related, which is totally fine. We will stick to that. So when someone stands in your way, I'm not talking about, they asked me to send an email in a different font, right? I mean, those moments when you know you can do your thing, you can land that project, crush your goal, level up, but there might be a human-sized roadblock right in front of you. Maybe they're holding up a giant no entry sign, right? It's white with some red and it says no entry. And you just feel like, I keep calling it a wall, a brick wall. I can't get over it. There's no ladder to get over it. You can't crush a goal when a human-sized roadblock is in front of you. And your brain is screaming like, get out of the freaking way, right? Like, excuse me, move. I need to get this done. So why does it feel personal? Why do the heart rate starts going, the high blood pressure starts happening, we get headaches. Why does it feel so personal? Here's the thing. Our brains are wired to chase goals, especially if you have that personality to level up. Dopamine gets released when we anticipate success, right? We all want to do good. Most of us, many of us want to do great. We want to succeed. No matter what that is, if we have a side business, if just in our work, personal, anything. So when we see the opportunity or that green light, our reward system lights up like Times Square. Blink, blink, blink. And dopamine gets released. But when someone blocks it, our dopamine crashes. That feel-good chemical just kind of drops to the basement, okay? So then we got frustration, we have resentment, kind of that deep sigh that makes other coworkers or other people ask you if you're okay because maybe your eyes look a little glassed over. Maybe you mention not feeling well. Maybe you do come down with a cold or something because sometimes stress does that. Our immune system gets beat up a little bit too. It's also a threat to our autonomy. Listen, the amygdala, the brain's fight or flight headquarters, we'll call it, sees it as a loss of control. If you're like me and you like to be in control and you have your goals and it's like, this is what I'm doing, and you make your plan and then someone is stopping you, it's like bouncing back. Our brains process workplace hierarchy like we're still primates in a troop, truly. Really. Have you ever watched National Geographic or something and something is in the way of something else, elk? I saw some elk fighting. Okay. If you know what I mean, go look at a National Geographic. The males are fighting. The females might fight or look at each other or, you just feel blocked. Okay. Even if it's just a teammate in your way, your brain interprets it as a challenge to your role. That spike in cortisol is why you suddenly want to either yell, hide in the bathroom, scream in a pillow, anything, right? I actually just screamed in my car a couple weeks ago because I just didn't know what else to do. I couldn't really cry. I wasn't really mad. My heart was racing. My chest was hurting. And I just went, why don't I let out a couple screams? It felt a little better except my throat hurt afterwards. So maybe don't do that. But I think you're getting the point, right? If you've ever been in the situation where you're trying to set a goal and get that goal and have things happen and then something's getting in your way, a great example is not getting a bonus because sales weren't where they needed to be. And it's not your fault because you worked extra hard and maybe just a trend happened. And so sales didn't hit the goal. So you didn't get your bonus. It is so frustrating. So it could be a thing, right, in your way, or it could be a trend in your way, or it could be something else that's happening, or it could be a human. Okay, so let's talk about the stages of feeling blocked at work. This is very interesting. You might not realize it. But when someone is standing in your way, it usually comes with its own little emotional roller coaster. Here are the stages that I've seen. I've wrote them down the past few years, and you might recognize more or some, so just some. All right, so it starts off with hope and excitement. Okay, hope and excitement. Sorry, I can't even read my own handwriting. You see the opportunity, dopamine spikes. You're already picturing yourself crushing it like, that's mine, I got this. Then number 2 comes in and it's the confusion. Maybe a teammate or a boss starts throwing up concerns or timing issues, or they just aren't responding and you can't get through and you're like, wait, do they not get what I'm trying to do here? And then you're questioning, like, what is their thought? What is their thought process on this? You already know how to get to that goal, but somehow they're stopping you or something's stopping you. Number 3 is frustration, because now after the confusion, so you get that dopamine is like, yes, we got this. We're going to do this. Let's go. And then you got a teammate or a boss that's maybe confuses the situation a little bit. And, I really don't like the word confusion, but I did write that down because the situation a couple years ago was that the person was like, I don't know, explain this part to me and this part to me. And they were bringing in things that I appreciate when people say, hey, you probably want to watch for that, but it really didn't align with what the project was. We didn't have to worry about it, but it caused confusion within the group. So then the frustration hits in. Reality sets in. They're not going to move. Your cortisol stress levels, right? They climb. In other words, like, why are you making this harder than it needs to be? Am I right? And then it's the overall overthinking spiral, right? It's just that overall spiral, the overthinking. You replay every conversation in your head, wondering if this is all because maybe you didn't do something for them, so they're trying to make it difficult, or maybe you didn't explain it well enough, right? You start thinking to yourself, did I not explain this enough? Did I not write down all the things? Sometimes, a couple years ago, now this is something that I've written a couple years back, and now I'm just recording it, but a couple years ago, I remember that I wrote this plan. It's just this whole plan. I wrote it out. I sent it off, and one person wrote back something that caused this spiral in my brain. Like, did I need to add that? Is it going to help? Is it going to cut, our budget? Is it, a lot of stuff just like, did I do it wrong? And guess what? It never came up. They were just blocking me. They wanted to show that maybe they were thinking of something else that had nothing to do with the project. So then I was like, well, maybe I said something in a meeting that they didn't like, so they're just going to pick on me. And it happened actually a couple of times later too. I would send a whole plan. Here's what we're doing. This is what I'm going to do. And I take a lot of the projects on myself, the tasks, because I don't expect people to do things if I don't do it, if I can't do it. So they did it a couple more times, and I thought, I wonder if this person just doesn't like me. It's the overthinking spiral. Stop it. Stick to your goal. You know what needs to be done and keep going. You might have to climb over the wall. You may have to go around them. You might have to, it's frustrating, right? And you start to overthink. Don't overthink. You did the work. You know how to get to that goal or to complete that task, okay? Then it's what I call strategy mode or burnout. You either look for workarounds because you're just like, seriously, dude, like why? Or mentally check out because you're just exhausted from the fight. I had that happen. I sent the plan. The third or fourth time they sent something back, or I was waiting for them to approve it and it didn't come over and people are yelling at me and then I'm stuck in between. And it's just like, all right. Like, I think it was like a Thursday or Friday. I just took the days off. I'm like, I cannot even do this. I had a headache. My heart was racing. I was like, I can't do this. I will just wait till next week, which I know some of you can't, right? We need to get stuff done by the end of the week, but I just could not. I just mentally broke down. And it was like strategy mode off, burned out. And then how about if you push through? How about an outcome and a reflection? You push through, find another route, go around, move on, talk to somebody else, kind of excuse yourself from the conversation that you're having with the person that's blocking you and say, you know what, I'm just going to go for it. If you're right, I will say you're right, but I got to keep pushing through here. We got people waiting, right? We got things waiting. You file this away as a lesson in how not to work with others when it's your turn to lead something. I'm going to repeat that. Outcome and reflection. So let's say you push through this task, you push through this project, you find another route because you're sick of waiting for that person, you move on, file it away as a lesson in how not to work with others when it's your turn to lead something. Don't do what they're doing. Be open to the projects that people are sending you and reply back, great job. And guess what? Be there if they need you. We all need somebody, right? Be there if they need you. All right, so how to deal with losing your mind during these projects or tasks. Separate intent from impact. Separate intent from impact. Just because it feels like sabotage from this person doesn't mean it is. Check the facts before you unleash your inner courtroom drama, before you start fighting, which I do. I ask all the questions and I'm like, well, why? I always want to know the whys. I'm like a toddler that says why all the time. I just am. Like, well, what's your thought process on that? Or where are you coming from on that? And it just sometimes it makes it worse because I sometimes don't want to know, but I need to know. Play the long game. Keep delivering results in areas that you can control. All right, so maybe this task is being stopped by somebody. Maybe they're putting up a brick wall. Go do something else. Make yourself so good that they can't ignore you. Keep sending those emails. Keep making those phone calls or whatever it is. Keep talking to them if it's in a relationship, whatever it is. Make yourself so good they can't ignore you. Show them that you've got other projects that you got done, that they're great and they're working. And then maybe that one that they're holding back on or they're not approving or they're the human brick wall, maybe they'll realize that. And sometimes tasks overlap each other. So if one gets done and it works, it just kind of flows into that one that they're stopping you from and it just fixes itself. So think about that too. Please document. Don't just vent to people. I do that. I vent to people. I have my people at work that I call and I'm like, oh my God, listen to this. Or I come home to my husband. I'm like, listen to this. Keep receipts, keep screenshots, keep emails, keep meeting notes, document, especially if it's work. Okay. Or if you need to write some notes down after, a session, therapy session with your spouse or anything, or just anything. Sometimes my husband just texts me and says, okay, this is what we're going to do today, blah, 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 that kind of thing. Document it. So if it's a relationship or it's work, like I said before, I default to work because it's just easy for me to talk about. Find allies, kind of. So I did write this down. Sometimes the door's locked, but there's a side window. Now, this to me is, I want you to remember that you can find allies and other people on your team that can help you work towards your goal, but they don't have to agree with how you're feeling. Let's just say you're seeing something or you're getting blocked by something. They may not be. So when I say find allies, just someone that can help you complete the project, not fight with the person that's stopping you. Because everyone has different views on things, so be careful with that, okay? Reframe the path. If one route is blocked, find another if needed. That's strategy. You're not surrendering. It's strategy. Please manage your stress cycle. When your cortisol spikes, your logic dips. Walk away. Take a breath. Sit in your car. Sit on the couch. Basically take a walk because that's really good for you. Take a lap around the building. Maybe text your work bestie with facts. Hey, I just want to spew this out. And bestie will say, thanks for sharing. Is there anything I can do? And you're going to say, nope, but I feel better now. It's off my shoulders for just a second. Here's my go-to when someone's blocking me and I don't want to spiral for the next 8 hours. And I have learned this over the years. Okay. The acronym is C.A.L.M. C.A.L.M. C. Check your facts. Is this really about you? Are they stopping you because it's personal? Or are they dealing with their own mess and maybe they can't get back to you, or maybe they don't even realize they're blocking you. C, check the facts. Make sure. A, adjust your energy. Stop pouring your attention and thoughts into that roadblock, into that brick wall. Put your attention and your energy into something that you can move forward today. All right, so you're being stopped on this one. I'm sure you have plenty of other tasks to do. L, lean on your allies. Again, we already talked about that. Your work bestie, your mentor, the coworker who will tell you, nope, you're not crazy. How can I help? All right, that's L. M, move your body, quiet your mind. We got 2 M's. Move, mind. Take a walk, stretch, breathe, dance in the bathroom, whatever gets your cortisol down and your brain thinking straight again. Listen to some good music, listen to a podcast, whatever you want to do. Try to do it all before lunch so that you can stay grounded enough to keep going the rest of the day, okay? So if you're feeling stuck behind someone at work right now, remember, or if you're feeling stuck behind someone in a relationship, remember, this is not your final chapter. Sometimes the roadblock teaches you patience. Reflect on that. Sometimes it teaches you new strategies. Maybe find something different. And sometimes it just teaches you exactly how not to work with others. Maybe they're being the example. You've got this. Go drink some water. Unclench your jaw. Take a deep breath. Go take a walk. Talk to you next time.